Good morning. It is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. On the road, very much. See, I can't even speak. Very little sleep for Westwood. Exciting nights. You never know what to expect. You never know when you're going to get a little shut-eye, so you better squeeze some out when you can. You know, one good thing is, glad I'm not boozing it up, because I don't know if I can make it through the day. Lack of sleep's bad enough. So I'm out and about, drop my daughter off at school, and going back to Westwood for another wonderful day. It is beautiful. We've got a lot of good people have arrived and brightened my day and darkened my evenings. I love everybody. Yes, I do. All right, so I was watching. I'm not paying attention much. This is what happens when I have meetups, when I have a crypto event. Tomorrow, the meetup, the live meetup at Hanover's in Metamora. The website, clintwestwood.net. Link is below. Go onto that website, click that big link at the top, and you'll have all the details. Come hang out with us. Pretty good times. But no, weeks like this, like if I travel, go to Litecoin Summit or something, I don't pay attention to my phone much. I'm not looking. I don't know what's going on in the market. So, you know, somebody will say, oh, this is moving. Oh, Litecoin's up. Oh, Digibyte's moving. Oh, did you see silver? And I'm like, I don't know. Because I'm living my life. Doing the things that I would do. Doing the things that I would do if we get a moonshot in Litecoin, right? Be going to the Litecoin Summit anyway. But yeah, when I get away to these things and I get around the people that I want to hang out with, I really don't pay attention to my phone much. So I did look this morning, and yeah, the crypto market's kind of waking up a little bit. I don't know, Bitcoin just under 120,000 again. That seems to be the line in the sand. Once it crosses through that convincingly, it's probably up. I was thinking earlier this year that by the end of the year we'd see $180,000 Bitcoin. You know, so that's 50% higher, if I do my math right, 50% higher than where we're at now. And we've got about 3 months. But, you know, these 3 months at the end of the year definitely can be some pent-up energy that can explode. It's happened in the past, and it doesn't take much. If you've never experienced a bull run, let's call it, in any market, but crypto especially, man, some of these coins that don't have a lot of liquidity can really move. It takes a lot to move Bitcoin because there is so much money invested in it already. A 50% move is pretty huge. I don't know that that's going to happen, but earlier this year, that's kind of what I felt. You know, we'd see something run up to about $180,000 in Bitcoin. You know, timelines shift. I mean, it could be by March of next year, but I don't know. It just seems like markets, even the stock market, just seems a little frothy. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's a blow off top coming in most markets, but you see what silver's doing, see what gold's doing. You know, there's that sense or that feeling, that's just kind of my gut feeling that, yeah, we could be poised for one of those things to where things really start running up. And then what happens? You suck a lot of people in who have been on the sidelines. You know, you've been telling them to buy silver at $20 or less, and now once it goes over 50, oh my gosh, I need to get some silver. I don't have any silver. You know, and you get that panic, that fear of missing out, that FOMO is what we call it. But you think, oh shit, this thing's gonna go to $100. You know, I gotta buy it. And so you'll get a wave of those people, and that's when the frenzy really starts, and the markets start looking, what the heck is happening? You know, this thing's gonna go up forever. And you get that sentiment. Markets are just emotion. They're just people. And when you watch these charts, these ups and downs, it's a painting of the emotions of people. It's really what it is. I think the charts are beautiful because it really does. It represents sentiment. It represents like a heartbeat. You know, you go to the emergency room, they put you on the heart monitor, and you see the beep, 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 beep. That kind of thing. That's what the markets are. It's the heartbeat of the market. And it's the people in the market. It's the emotional waves in the market from all the people. So when people start getting whipped up emotionally, and you'll see it with people in your life, they'll be like, oh my gosh, have you seen this? That's all they want to talk about. Want to talk about price go up, number go up, everything. And they're excited, you know, and it hits them at an emotional level. And that gets painted on that chart. But what happens inevitably, because that's why there's market cycles, that's why it is a market, that's why you do have a chart, what goes up must come down. Now in a situation like Litecoin, you know, you sit at $100 for a while, now it's like 120. The all-time high is quickly to, you know, high threes, $400 very quickly, maybe a day or two. That's how quickly it moves. So you look at the chart and you say, oh, it hit $400 back in May 2021. Yeah, for 5 minutes. You know, and so that's what happens. It's an emotional wave, and you get these spikes up, and you think it's just going to continue forever. Well, it doesn't. And so you have to be aware of that, and don't think that, yeah, you just don't get wrapped up in that frenzy, that emotion. You look at things I look at things as a long-term investment, a hold, something to protect yourself from the vampire casino, that fiat false system, and you put your energy into alternatives. Now, it can go up and do really well, and I mean, in those instances, maybe you want to do something in real life with that. I mean, what are you going to do? What's the alternative? You try to escape the dying dollar system, the fiat death of this vampire casino, you know, through one of these vehicles like Litecoin, through silver, and then when it goes up in dollar price, because it's sucking up more of those dollars because they're becoming worth less, what do? You're going to sell it back into those dollars? Or are you going to do something with it? And so that requires a little bit of planning, a little bit of understanding who you are and what you want out of life. And that's one of those things that I don't know that people have given that much thought. What do you really want? What do you want to manifest in this life? What vision do you have going forward of where you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to be around, what you need? And that's important, because if you know that, then the emotional swings of the market don't bother you so much, because you realize, okay, like for instance, I need to pay my house off. Okay, so you save for that, and you say, at this point, I'll be able to pay my house off. And then the investments that you have, they rise up to that point. Do you continue to wait and say, oh, I could get a little bit more, squeeze a little bit more, I can pay the house off, but I could put an in-ground pool in too. Or, you know, I could add a deck, or I can add an addition. And so you kind of get greedy, and you deviate from what your original path was, what your original vision was. And then what happens if it goes back down and you don't even pay the house off, and you're like, oh man, I don't have quite enough now. I should have done something with it. So it's important to know where you're at, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. And when you get there, don't self-sabotage, because that happens a lot. If you're buying a piece of freedom, if that owning that home is a piece of your freedom, or paying off that vehicle, whatever it may be, if that's what you want to do, and then all of a sudden you get to that point where you can do it, and then you think, but now I might be able to do more. You know what? You got to look at yourself and say, would I be better off with that house paid off? Or would I be better off with that car paid off? That was my original goal. Stick to the goal. Now, inevitably, if you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to have you'll pay the house off, and then, what you sold is going to go up higher, and you're going to kick yourself. But that's okay. You got to, hey, come on. Stop. Daddy-o in the house. So what you've got is a situation where people, hey, you know what you want. You want 2 dogs, right? You know what you want, and once you accomplish that goal, check the box. Take advantage of it, because that's what was going to bring you happiness. You laid that out, you thought about it rationally, logically, and now when you get whipped up in emotion on these markets, next thing you know, oh, wow, I could do this, I could do this. Listen, stick to the plan, stick to your plan. Check off the box that brings you freedom, that puts you in a better situation, because once you do that and accomplish that goal, you knew then when you made the goal that it's going to make your life better, and it's going to lower your blood pressure, it's going to make you more relaxed, more calm, more at peace. Why not take advantage of that? Put yourself in a better position. And that's the goal here, isn't it? So my point is, quit getting whipped up into the frenzy of emotions, and focus on what's important, where you want to be going forward, and plan for that. Be disciplined, plan for that, and when it happens, allow it to happen. Take the gift. And it's not even a gift. You put the work in. You made the effort. You made the decision and said, I'm putting my energy into this, and it will pay off, and I know it will pay off. And when it pays off, cash the check. Let it pay off. Do not destroy yourself. And that's what happens. Make a goal, stick to it, and just do it. Put yourself in a better position. And when given that opportunity, it's a good idea to do it. Just saying. So markets, yeah, very emotional. I just have a feeling. I always thought, the end of this year is going to be, you look at the charts for Litecoin, the 6-month chart, it looks like it's going to blast out of this triangle that's been going on forever. And I mean, the numbers that you could speculate based on that, the ranges, it's kind of crazy. Will it happen? I don't know. But I don't change my life and do anything differently. Curveballs come at you. You swing at them. You try and make contact with it and do the best you can. And you know what? Base hits are better than home runs, because usually a home run, the odds of that, you're going to strike out, or you're swinging for the fences. You're going to fly out. Get those base hits. That's winning. I mean, just get on base and stay in the game. You don't want to strike out. You don't want to stand there and take a beanball. Well, maybe you do if you want to get on first base. But that's up to you. How much torture, how much pain do you want to take? So yeah, look at the markets as emotion. And we may be experiencing a lot of emotion coming up in these markets, and that will make people irrational. But the thing is, stick to your plan. You better have a plan to begin with. And if you don't have one, write it down. Have something right now. Hey, I need to do this, 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 and this. And what's that do for me? Makes me happy. I need to go back and get a certification or a new skill, and it's going to cost me this much. And if I got the money to do it, I'm going to do it. Oh man, I got the money to do it, but now I really could do this. And you know what? Stick to the plan. You know what you need and what brings you freedom and happiness. So do that. When you accomplish that, check that box. I like to say self-sabotage. Don't self-sabotage, because a lot of us do. Know who you are, know what you want, and plan accordingly. I need another dog. That's what I need. Yeah. So anyway, I'll wrap this up. Tomorrow's the meetup. Anybody near, the Peoria area, Illinois, but go to my website, clintwestwood.net, the big link at the top. Click that, and you'll get all the details of where we're going to be. It's going to be a great time. Always is. Many good people. It gives everyone an opportunity to talk about things like this, to talk about freedom, and talk about independence, talk about connection, love, and, not what's wrong with the world, but how it can be made better. That's the recurrent theme that I always have at these meetups, events that I host, is that anybody new who comes in always says, wow, I can't believe we're talking about this. These are the things I think all the time, but nobody where I live, nobody around me, family, friends, I can't talk to people like this. I can't have these discussions. And, and that's a slow death. I mean, it really is, having ideas and, having a truth and understanding things, and then everybody around you doesn't get it and can't talk to you about it, and just eyes glaze over. And so having these events, you have a lot of that same energy coming together, and it's a really good thing. It's very healthy. So yeah, if you feel it in your heart, if you feel it pulling you, come to the meetup. Come meet some wonderful people. It's worth the trip. And Metamore's got a lot of things going on. I've got the events on the website too, what you can go do, and make it a weekend trip. All right. I love you all. I truly do. Some more than others. All right. Have a wonderful day. Hope to see you at the meetup tomorrow. And know what you're all about and what you need. And when you accomplish those goals, check those boxes off. You're going to be in a much better place. And you're going to, it's going to be a better life for you. You're going to feel a lot better, because those are your goals and you accomplish them, and put you in a different mindset. And those boxes will start checking off a lot faster down that list. All right. Have a wonderful day. I love you all.